Welcome to Unqualified Uprising. I'm your host, Mike. Tonight is the saga of Frank, the dog. In my first chair, good evening, Joe.
Good evening.
In the second chair, as always, good evening, Tom.
Good evening. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And producer Adam, bringing up the rear.
Good morning.
Good morning, even though it's 5:30 or 6 o'clock.
That's fine.
So, we're going to talk about Frank the dog. Now, you don't know who Frank the dog is, do you?
No, I don't.
Put your microphone next to your face.
Oh,
Who
no, I
is
don't.
Frank the dog?
Frank the dog.
Bow wow.
So, it happened long ago. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, got it? I'm
Yeah.
just watching you look at your
I
watch.
thought on my phone. I thought the phone was ringing. I'm good.
Okay. If the phone rings, go ahead and answer it, okay?
Okay.
Don't turn off your microphone now.
All right.
Okay. So it started long ago, many, many moons ago, on a Thursday night. Okay?
Yeah.
I was working night shift at the horrible place that we've talked about before, Capstone Container Corporation, making boxes. Got it?
Yeah.
I had to work 11 at night till 11 in the morning. 12-hour shift. Now, normal people out in listener land, which we have none,
Jeez.
many of them have worked the 12-hour shift. Whether you're a secretary, a button pusher somewhere, a security guard, lots of people work 12-hour shifts. The difference between working a 12-hour shift at Capstone and working a 12-hour shift anywhere else, including hell, no matter how cold it was outside, no matter how hot it was outside, it was hotter inside that building.
Oh, okay.
It averaged the forklift guys used to hit the temp meter on their fucking fork trucks, and it'd be 500 degrees. This place was not only did it produce boxes, it also had a corrugator in there to actually turn the paper into boxes using heated rollers and a long bunch of bullshit, many steps that I don't know, nor do I want to tell you. But no matter what day or time it was, everybody was in shorts. From the guys to the girls to the bosses to whoever. If you strolled off the street and walked in there, you'd want to put on a pair of shorts. It was so hot that I seen guys getting taken out by the cops, and the cops decided to leave them there because it was fucking worse there. Imagine. Worse than jail.
Unbelievable.
Can you imagine anything worse than jail?
No.
Okay. So
I was there. It was worse than jail. God.
Oh yeah, Tom was right there with me.
Yeah.
And Tom worked second shift, which was 3 to 11, but Tom was also on a 12-hour shift. Now, Tom was kind of a legend of that place, we'll say, because Tom had a very coveted job. Tom worked in the dye room. So Tom had a whole room to himself, away from the heat, well, for the most part, away from the sound. You could take off your fucking ear protection. You could take off your bump cap. We had many great conversations in the dye room, and none of them were about boxes or dyes. But I'm just setting the stage for you. I'm setting the table for this story, so you have an idea of what's going on. Tom had to work overtime. Tom was there till 3 in the morning. I talked to Tom this night. Don't really know what I said, but Tom did his normal thing, carrying some ink around, telling me a funny joke or something, and walking around. But I had to work 12 hours. Tom, at 3 a.m., Tom abandoned ship. Tom was like, see you later.
Yeah, I'm out.
You're out.
I'm
That's out.
Yeah.
Yes.
I never worked past 1 a.m. on a job ever. So like what you were saying you did, I never did that. Work through a night like that.
Yeah, anybody that works nights that is listening to this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It sucks. No matter how much you try to sugarcoat it and try to make excuses that, I can go to the bank. No one's here. Oh, I could do this. I could do that. No, you're a fucking zombie, and your life deteriorates right in front of your face, and you can't do nothing about it. Everybody's going to work. You're going to bed. Everybody's going to bed. You're going to work. Your dogs don't like you. Your wife don't like you. Your fucking neighbors don't like you. You can't find anything on television. You can't find anything anywhere. Netflix don't even fucking like you. It's terrible. Working nights sucks. Don't ever do it. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that sounds about right.
Boy, you guys are real.
That's what I thought it was. That's what I thought it was. That's why I never did it.
Yeah, fuck that. It's dumb.
I had the opportunity a few times with a few different jobs, and I
This
never did.
particular place compounded that. That helped.
When people say like, "Oh, I'd rather be in Afghanistan fighting the Taliban than being here. Oh, I'd rather be shoveling shit." Nope. Bring the truckload of shit and bring the fucking Taliban with them, and I'll shovel the shit onto the Taliban and suffocate them. Send me wherever. Send me anywhere. Send me to a fucking mountain to die. Anything was worse.
You were in the military.
Well, Joe thinks I was in the military, but no,
you
no.
told me you weren't.
No. And I'm not obviously I don't want to go fight in Afghanistan. It is hyperbole, but send me to a timeshare. No, send me to what do they call them things where they rip you off? You live. Is it a timeshare?
Yeah,
Send me to a timeshare scheme. I'll sit through one of those. Make me go renew my license. Make me do anything except that.
Mike.
Except work that fucking place.
I used to say, I'd rather get a caning in Singapore than go to work today.
I'm not joking around. When I was on day shift, we used to have to come in at 3 a.m. You could have if somebody carjacked me on the way to fucking work, they would be done. That would be, you would get destroyed. We used to joke about if anybody ever came in with a weapon, he would run out of bullets because everyone would just line up in front of him. That's how much they hated this fucking place. These guys worked there 30 years. They hated it more than us. Yeah. And I mean vitriol hate. The hate, you never seen hate like this, bro. It is like if I just burned the flag right in front of you, Joe, that kind of hate. Like if I said Trump sucks right in front of you, like you would hate me like that. That's how bad this fucking place was.
Yeah.
It was a fat paycheck, and somehow we put ourselves through that.
That's about it. It was a fat paycheck.
We got a good paycheck, and that was the only good thing about it.
I remember guys threatening they would beat up their grandmother to get out of there. They would rob a bank, anything to get out of that place. They didn't care. They wanted to leave. I seen guys fight there. It's so stupid.
You almost mixed it up a couple times.
I got pushed. I got into a fight. Got apologized to in the middle of a fight. Helped up by the person I was fighting, and then continued to fight. This happened.
Wow.
Yeah. It's the strangest interaction I've ever had with anyone.
That is crazy.
I talked some shit. A guy came over that I talked shit about. He talked some shit to me. I talked some more shit back. It got a little bit heated. I was standing on the platform of my machine, and I had to. God, we're getting okay.
Anyway,
I had to put a bottom sheet down so a stack of boxes could roll down these rollers and get to some asshole on the unitizer, which was another guy. A whole nother asshole. So everybody was an asshole in there, including me. So while I'm going to set this load up, the guy tries to get closer to me to talk more shit and try to fight. We were trying to intimidate. We were peacocking at each other, man. We were mama bearing at each other. I'm gonna kick your ass. No,
I've done
kick
that
your ass.
to people before.
You have?
Yeah, but only once. That only occurred once.
Yeah, man, I really don't want to memory hold this story, but you're really making it hard.
Well, I was in college. So
okay.
Let's go there.
Let's go over there real quick. We're going to pause me.
Yeah.
This is, okay, we've caught lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
We'll come back to Frank.
The guy was...
What guy? Where?
I was in a play, in a musical.
Oh my God.
And the guy...
oh, my God.
What happened was he was a stage guy, and he came across the stage at me, and I didn't realize because I yelled at him. I told him that he needed to be on the other side because we bumped into each other. Okay. And he came at me, and I said to him, "Look, I'm going to kick your ass unless you move." And he said to me, "You can't kick my ass if I kick your ass first."
Oh yeah, yeah. What a comeback.
And then I jumped at him, and he jumped back. I said, "Look, don't mess around with me, man." And he went back to where he was supposed to go. And then after everything was done and the play practice was over, I had the director in my face about it telling me that he was going to suspend me from the play and everything else, but he never did. They actually had me. I said, "Who are you going to get to play my part if you're going to
What are
suspend?"
you,
me?"
Romeo? Are you Jomeo? What are you, Jomeo?
No, but I still had a part that
You
they
didn't-
would have, and we were near the end
What-
of production.
You didn't have
What
an understudy or
Yeah,
anything?
you didn't have an understudy. That's
No,
yeah.
no. But I mean, it was, we
What was
just
your
got
part?
into an argument. I was the commissioner of baseball, and I was also a news reporter. I
What,
had two
8 men
parts.
out?
2 parts. It
What
was
was the-
Damn Yankees. That
Damn
was the
Yankee,
name of
I
the
know
play.
it. Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Did you have a singing part?
I did not. I did not. It
There's
was.
footage of this somewhere.
Because that's a musical.
There is
Yeah,
footage
it
of
It was a
this
musical.
somewhere.
There was a song that they sung when the play exited that everybody sung in, but I didn't have any solos or anything.
You
like
gotta
Why not?
have heart.
Okay, so wait.
that. No, I wasn't in that particular
Okay.
song.
Okay. We sidebarred my
Okay, you
interaction.
can go back.
No. We'll come back to that. Oh, okay. So you were in a production of Damn Yankees,
Yeah.
and you were on stage.
Yes.
Did you have any interactions with this person before any? What do you mean you bumped into each other? Is that the first interaction?
Yeah, he
Wha-
was.
okay,
I
what-
wasn't. We would interact lightly because he was backstage.
He was a stagehand.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were like, hey, man.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, man.
But
Okay.
he kept walking across the stage, and everyone had a problem with him. And he wasn't. He was supposed to stay in his position,
Walking back and forth on the stage while the play is on.
Well, yeah,
Like
Well,
people in the crowd?
When we were coming out for the scene, we would see this boob, and he would bump into people, and I just didn't. I wasn't
We're recording,
having it
right?
at that time.
Please tell me
Yeah.
we're recording.
That's why I yelled
Just had
at
to
him. No
double
one
check.
else did. They just kind of dealt with it, and then they would talk about him after.
Okay.
I actually had a confrontation with him.
Okay, but hold on. So he's what he already annoyed you once,
He had annoyed me a couple of times,
but you hadn't said anything yet.
I might have spoke to him about it one other time.
Like said, hey,
Yeah.
can you? Yeah, but I know you.
But I told
know how you talk.
because I told him that because he kept bumping into.
Hey, fuckface.
Yeah, once in a while I'll say that. But I was actually pretty good until he crossed me again a second
Oh
time.
man, you sound like Dirty Harry.
Yeah.
You crossed me
He
once.
crossed me once, never again.
Never again. Okay,
I
so
let him get away with it the first time.
you let him go. You let him slide.
Yeah.
You let him.
But
let
we
him,
never kicked each other's. We never even hit each other.
Well, I
We
understand.
got in each other's faces and then we backed off.
But
That's all it
you
was.
said he charged at you.
Well, he came at me because I yelled at him, and then I said, and then I said to him, I said, "Back off, or I'm going to kick your ass." And then he says to me, "I'm going to kick your ass." And he gets in my, and then I jump he gets in my face, and then I go back into his face, and he backs off. And I said to him, everybody's been complaining with you the whole production because you're always bumping into people and on the stage when you shouldn't be.
And what did he say?
He didn't say anything. He just walked away. And then I had the director come at me asking me, "What are you doing? You're supposed to..." I said to him, "I'm yelling at the guy. Everyone's been complaining about it." He said to me, "Well, we could suspend you if you get in someone's face." I was like, who's going to play me? Who do you got as a replacement?
What a negotiator. The prime negotiator. Obi-Wan
I said-
Kenobi got nothing on you, boy.
I
Everyone's
said,
replaceable.
it was only we had 3 weeks left until the play actually was. So I had already learned all the lines for it and everything else.
Let's have him do a little acting.
Fuck, no, fuck you. What?
I gotta go to the restroom upstairs.
okay.
But I'll let you you guys go.
No, you can pause it. Go ahead and pause it. Back from dinner break. We
That was good.
yeah,
Thank the wife.
I will.
for-
And after you announce to our
cooking pizza.
audience of not many
One.
that you had to go to the bathroom,
yeah.
we're back. Okay, you had to pee and you had
Yeah.
to eat. Food was good.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So the what we were talking about before
Yes.
was the run-in with the
yes.
the backstage.
Well, we were actually talking about Frank the dog initially.
Yeah,
But-
that's why. But
You know, continue.
I discussed it, and I wanted to just tell everybody that what happened between us was not really. It wasn't illegal per se. It wasn't.
Well,
I mean,
okay.
we just kind of had a run and we yelled at each other and we went back and then I got scolded by the director for yelling. I personally think that he was the director's pet. And the reason I think this is because the director knew this stuff was going on. And up until I said something to the guy directly, he just let it go. And everyone would talk about it. Well, the guy hit me, bumped into me, or he walked in front of me.
That guy fucking
the
elbowed me in the
audience couldn't even
chops.
see. So, yeah, I mean, nothing happened until I had to run in with him, and then that was it. It stopped for whatever reason. So, in a way, I'm glad I did, because what I didn't want to happen was there be us be live in the production with the audience there, and then something happens with this bozo. By the way, his name was Tom too.
Tom Brady?
That made it even
Was it
worse.
Tom Brady?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Tom, too.
Was it Tom Sizemore?
No, I don't want to
Okay,
give
just
his
making
last
sure.
name.
No,
I
that's
know
fine.
his last name.
We all know it's Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
I know. Okay, so you you remember exactly what you said to him? You said, if you keep doing that, I'm going to kick your ass?
Yeah, well, he came at me after I yelled at him. I said, you got to back off. You got to go over there.
hey, you!
I mean,
over there.
yeah, I kept bumping almost every practice. I mean, if he wasn't bumping into me, he was walking in front of me. The backstage, you're not supposed to see the backstage people, and the
I
director
understand.
just let it go.
I get it.
You know,
Okay.
so
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, that's all I have on the story.
Yeah, but I mean, you said, "Hey, get out of here," and he said, "No, you get out of here."
Yeah,
You guys had a battle of
well,
terrible
wait.
fucking comebacks.
No, he came at me.
Okay, hold on, we're getting quiet.
No,
okay.
he came at me.
Okay.
I told him to back off, to go back where he is, and I pointed to where he was supposed to be. And
Get back
he
over there.
came at me, and he told me he was going to kick my ass or something like that. And then I said to him, we're going to kick your ass. Yeah, so that's what happened. So, I mean, I don't think either one of us were really. We got in each other's faces, and then we backed
kiss.
off. Nobody.
You kissed.
I didn't hit him, and he didn't
I
hit me.
know. I know. I'm pretty
But
sure.
I actually
know.
think he would have deserved to get hit, but I didn't hit him because I didn't want to get in trouble.
Okay. Well, now. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
I can only. How big was this guy? Was it a small guy? Big guy?
He was.
You're looking at the ground.
I'm thinking because he was probably as tall as me, so like 6'1",
Oh.
but he was a lot skinnier.
Really?
So
You're real
yeah,
skinny.
You're kidding me. You're kidding me.
he was definitely skinnier.
Well, you were bigger than him.
Yeah.
Do you think you could have whooped his ass or what?
I could have thrown the left hook. Yeah,
Oh,
I've
my
done
God.
it before.
Listen to this fucking guy.
I used to do power
That guy-
bag when I was in high school.
You used to do what?
I used to hit the power bag when I was in high school.
Yeah, but you missed a bunch of times.
Yeah, that's a speed bag. I missed the
That's a good-
speed bag a couple of times.
I understand, but this guy would pummel you.
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't want to hit him. I didn't want to find out because we were getting ready to finish up the production. I told you there was only like 2 or 3 weeks
Yeah,
left.
but you know what? You grizzly beared up, you reared up, and you got rid of the situation, I guess.
Yes.
So you okay. Now I remember what we were talking about before we went to Joe's epic battle with the
God.
stagehand, the poor stagehand. We were talking about my interaction at Hellstone, Crapstone. So as I said, I talked some shit to a guy, and then he came out and talked some shit to me at my machine, and now we're standing on top of the little platform for the machine talking shit at each other. So the machine cycles. Like every minute, you got to stop doing what you're doing and do shit with the machine for like 30 seconds, and then you got another minute. So I had been arguing with this guy between drops of the stacker. I know. I would fight with this guy, and this guy was calling me an asshole, and I'd be like, fuck you, and we'd be bickering back and forth, pretty nasty. It was getting pretty nasty and heated, and then I'd have to he'd look at the machine, and I'd look at the machine, realize that if the machine got fucked up, then the supervisor would come over and we get in trouble. Our supervisor was out of his mind. He's fucking crazy, so he'd come over and yell at us. So it was the weirdest shit.
You had peace. You had peace for 30 seconds.
I was fully involved in an altercation that kept getting. It was a segmented. It was an argument broke up into fucking segments. It was like Saturday Night Live. The argument broken up into different fucking sections. So I'm fighting with the guy. The machine cycles. I'm getting the load ready. The machine cycles. I'm fighting with the guy. So it's a constant dance. And I got to give this other man credit. He was smart enough to realize, okay, you got to do this, but we're going to go right back to arguing as soon as you're done. But you go ahead and do that, and I'll stand right here.
I'll wait for you.
I'll wait for you. And then we went right back into fighting. It was the strangest shit you've ever been involved in. So
it sounds it.
Yeah, so we're arguing, not arguing, whatever. So the machine cycles for like the final time, and I have to put a bottom sheet underneath the load to get it down to conveyors to asshole number 2. So as I go to put a bottom sheet down, I'm backing up. He was coming in to talk more shit, and we collided. And he definitely did not want this to happen, and obviously I did not want this to happen. But now I'm 6'1", 250 pounds, so I'm a big fat fuck. I went tumbling down like Baby Huey, rolling on the fucking ground. Like I fell off the platform. It was only, I think, 8 inches off the ground, but
the platform was a conveyor. By the way,
the platform was a conveyor.
Yeah.
So the conveyor's moving. I'm bumping into this guy. This guy's bumping into me simultaneously, and he stumbled, but I hit the ground. So now. So you gotta understand, I'm in a fucking, this might as well have been prison. There was like 1 or 2 women that worked there, all dudes, men, men, we're men.
Yeah.
We acted like little teenagers, but we were men.
We were she-males at
We were
times.
we were babies. We were big babies.
Yeah.
We were big babies. So you gotta understand, I'm completely vulnerable right now. I'm laying on the fucking ground from a combination of this dude bumping into me and for him wanting to talk shit and me wanting to put the bottom sheet down. It ended up with a conundrum of me on the fucking ground. So as I'm flopping around like a fucking baby turtle, I'm looking up at the guy. The guy is looking at me with a look of horror. He goes, "Oh my God, I am so sorry. I did not mean to do that." And I said, "I can't believe you just did that." He goes, "I didn't mean to do that. Help me off the ground." Kind of like fucking let me get my bearings, dust myself off. And then we went right back to fucking fighting again and started arguing again. And finally we started like bumping chests like fucking old fat women. And then one of the fork truck guys broke it up, and another my first assistant, who was like 8 feet tall, came over and grabbed me. But yeah, I got into, so in that one day, if we were breaking them up into different situations, I had like 8 altercations within 5 or 6 minutes, all at my machine with one dude. And there were many apologies, but none of them came from me. They came from the aggressor of the fight when he knocked me down in the middle of a fight where at that moment we weren't fighting. We were still arguing. No fist was ever thrown. Nobody got really super aggressive until they were grabbed. And I'm not talking shit because I did the same thing. As soon as somebody grabbed a hold of me, I was like, "Whoa, man, let me at him! Let me
went
at
too
him!
far.
I'll get him!
Well, yeah. Well, what it is he didn't really want to fight you. He just wanted to talk trash.
Yeah. Well,
I think he wanted to fight. I'm going to kick your ass. Pause.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, that was
We're gonna fight.
yeah.
I know. I'm just saying. We're going to fight. Pause.
Yeah.
Now we're back on. We're going to fight again. We're back at it.
Let's
We're back
go.
at it. It's
Hold
like,
on, wait a
It's almost
minute.
like boxing.
It might as well have been boxing.
Yeah, like they had a bell.
Might as well have been boxing.
You had bell.
Yeah, we had the bell. That was the bell.
Then he knocks you down, and I'm sorry. Helps you back up.
And then right
back at it. Yeah.
And then about a month later, he came up on the fork truck. I was driving the fork truck, And he apologized to me because he said, "Thank you for not telling on me." He goes, "That was your stand-up guy," and didn't really have a problem after that. And that's the end of that. That's the end of that sidebar of that conversation, and that's what happened to me
Okay.
that one night. Okay, Jesus.
That
I know,
was
I know
a
the
crazy
gentleman he's
story.
talking about.
Was he at all when you compare like your build to his build? Al was he the same size as you? Was he?
No,
more
I'm in
muscular?
better. I'm probably in better shape, but he's stockier and probably tougher, without a doubt.
He's he's older
But
than me.
I'm taller and in better shape physically, because I know he has some health problems and shit. But I carry no beef. I don't look for that person. I don't want to ever talk to that person again. But that was a crazy time, and we both should have been fired. But and I'm not some royal. I deemed it not so. No, I just didn't feel like I already got pushed on the ground. I don't want to get pushed on the ground and go fucking tell my mom. No, fuck that. No, no. I'm a lot of things. A coward, an asshole, a prick, a jerk.
I agree.
I'm cheap.
No,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't.
true.
I'm
That's
petty.
true. You are
I'm
cheap.
petty.
Yeah.
I'm petty.
I don't think he's cheap.
I'm
but all right.
aggressive,
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
but I'm not a snitch.
Unless
I
you're
won't
not
tell on you.
unless you're not passive aggressive.
Yeah, I'm not Pat Mayola.
There's only one person I can almost stand a thief and a liar. If there's one thing I can't stand is a fink.
Okay, regale our
Yeah.
younger listeners with some of your old
Fink would
timey.
be-
I understand what a
Fink.
fink is. I get it.
A rat
Yeah, all right.
right.
Jesus
Just
Christ.
say rat bastard.
for the younger people.
And it sucks because I always watch that interview with Cameron. He's a rapper. I know you probably don't know who it is. He drove like a pink Lamborghini. Just listen to me. I think Ted Koppel or somebody famous, maybe it was Anderson Cooper, asked him if a serial killer lived next door to you, would you call the cops? He said, "Nah, I just move." He goes, "Would you tell anybody?" He goes, "Nah, I just move." So I understand we're snitching. I don't know, man. A serial killer.
It's a little different.
You're not gonna lose a lot of hood cred
Well-
if you fucking tell on Jeffrey Dahmer.
You talk about, and we were in a union, and
We
you're
were.
your union brother. You're
Yeah.
not gonna rat, supposedly, but
Yeah.
I pride myself on never ratting anybody out for anything. But there were a lot of people ratting people out all the time.
You were a superstar, so was I. They
Yeah.
they targeted. We were targeted, but everybody was targeted by everybody.
I know. I used to say if I turned my back long enough for somebody to put a hole in it, there'd be a hole in it.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
place changed you. It was like Shawshank. That place changes you.
I hear it because my one counterpart on the first shift would come and go, "What's this?" They draw their own scenarios of what was going on.
A
in my
little
life.
bird told me.
What's this? I hear this, and what's this? I hear that, and I heard you did this, and I go, "Where the fuck did this come from?" Or "What the fuck did that come from?" I heard you were at Walmart.
Yeah,
What were you doing there? Are you
Yeah.
working there? Fuck
and we
you.
had headsets too, so we could communicate.
Towards the
Yeah,
end.
there was headsets, so there was headsets involved, so you could talk shit on the headsets too, and not even be next to it. You could cross country talk shit. You could talk shit to truckers sometimes, like. But anyways, I digress.
Yeah, it was like a CB radio.
CB radio. Back to Frank.
Miami.
Remember Frank,
Yeah, the dog.
the dog.
So where did the dog come?
Okay, so I'm on a 12-hour shift. I have to work on the ward, the machine that I was gracefully tossed off of onto the concrete floor. This was a different night, of course, but I had to work on the ward 12 hours, or I had to work on the ward 8 hours, then go to the corrugator for 4 hours. The ward was okay. It was easy work. It was very methodical and a lot of bending, a lot of moving, but not a lot of lifting heavy shit, not a lot of killing yourself. You were just it was very tedious work. You just had to keep moving.
Bored out of your mind.
Bored out of your mind. The corrugator, on the other hand, was the complete opposite of that. So the corrugator is like 700 feet long, and the end of it were the stackers, which is exactly what it sounds like. It puts out pieces of cardboard, stacks them up, and you got to write chalk on. You got to write the number on the fucking load with chalk, and it goes to the machines and blah 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 blah. So I had been there since 11. So I showered at 10 o'clock at night, got ready to go to work, worked from 11 to 7, sweating my balls off because even though the ward was nice, it was still hot. We had industrial fans blowing
Hot air.
If they could have hooked a fan to my fucking head, it would have been fine. It was hotter than fuck. So anyways, now I got to go to the corrugator. So I'm a man. We sweat. So I've been sweating all night. And now I got to go sweat even fucking more. But now I got to move. The stackers, you got to run. And when I mean you got to run, sometimes you got to physically run. Because if that corrugator stops, you're fucking in trouble. The fucking supervisor's looking at you and pointing at you and yelling at you. These guys were assholes. So, you want to know the caveat to this? The coup de grace?
Yes.
Yes.
I had to fucking walk home after. Up fucking hill. This plant was on the bottom of the fucking city. It was literally the last thing and then the river.
I
Yes.
know.
Yeah.
I know.
Railroad tracks.
Yeah, the railroad tracks, then the fucking river.
Yeah.
So my house was on Edson Street, which was like 7 streets up, but up a ginormous hill called Roman Avenue.
Yeah.
So not only did I work 12 hours straight, and you only get a 20-minute fucking lunch. The rest are supposed to be 10-minute breaks. You would try to stretch them, but you were not sitting down very long. So I'm a
They
man.
broke the labor laws.
Yeah, of course. Any
Because
law,
you're
any
supposed to have
law
a
they
30
had,
minute
fucking
lunch.
people break them.
Yeah.
They probably sat outside the labor board.
Yeah.
And as soon as the labor board walked out with a new fucking rule, they figured out a way to break it right there. They were already breaking it in the parking lot. When the labor board.
They were
fucking
ahead
came
of
out.
them.
They were ahead of them. Whatever rule they could fucking break, they did.
Unbelievable.
This place, if they could work you 29 hours in a day, if they figured out a way to add 5 more hours to the day, they'd fucking do it and try to not pay you for it. This place was terrible. It's not hyperbole. This is fucking horrible. So I had to walk home. It's 10:45. I am chafed from the whole bottom of my body is fucking code red. I can barely move. I got fucking blisters on my ankles, both of them. I got blisters on my heels, both of them. I'm a walking fucking advertisement for calamine lotion. Like I'm in some trouble.
You had rashes.
I had rashes.
And unmentionable places. I got 'em.
Unmentionable places. And
It was impractical for you to get a ride from somebody.
just listen, Joe. Just listen.
It was impractical.
Yes.
I was the only one from Knights that was qualified on the corrugator. Nobody from Knights stayed over. So nobody's leaving at 11 o'clock, and we could not leave for any... It doesn't matter. If Jesus was in the parking lot, they didn't want you leaving. You cannot go out in the parking lot. You had to stay on premises. They were like that. It was a fucking prison. So, 10:45, I go down there. I take my boots off. I get ready to start going. I get an odd text from my wife. She says, "Hey, good news." I said, "Good news? Great. I've had nothing but bad news. I work at this place." She goes, "I can give you a ride home." I said, "Fucking A. Good deal." So I take my boots off. I'm covered in head to toe with fucking ink because the machine I worked on leaked fucking ink. So your hands would be covered in blue or red or fucking whatever color. Your clothes were all fucking destroyed. This place destroyed you in many ways, not just physically, mentally, financially,
Emotionally.
This place could wreck you.
But we stayed there for many years.
We stayed there for many years for some reason. I was there 9 fucking years for some reason. Male, almost 12, right?
Not quite that long. No.
So I'm walking outside. Because now, let me back up. I'd opened my locker, checked my phone, found out I'm getting a ride home. I had shoes with me because everybody there wore regular shoes in, Went down to the break room, grabbed boots out of their lockers, and nobody wore their regular. Nobody, you're not wearing what you wore to fucking work inside your house because there'd be black fucking footprints everywhere, all over the place. So I'm walking out. The sunshine is beaming on me. I'm exhausted, and I'm chafed till no tomorrow. For no tomorrow. No, I'm chafed. What's that phrase? I'm chafed until tomorrow.
I'm chafed like nobody's business.
I'm chafed like nobody's business, and I don't have to walk home. I see CRV approaching. That's my wife's car. I'm like, awesome. Capstone had like a little cul-de-sac, and where the truckers fucking went for shipping. And I was waiting. The front door had a little sidewalk you could walk out, and there was a bigger sidewalk you could wait for deliveries or whoever's picking you up. So she drives by me. And I think that's strange. I figured she would just stop and pick me up, and that would be the gist of it. So she circles around and comes up, and now she's on my. I'm talking to her at her window. She rolled her window down. She goes, "Hi." I said, "Hey." I said, "I'm really tired. What's going on?" She goes, "Hop in the back." Hop in the back. Yeah, hop in the back. And because I was deliriously tired and worried about the other issues I had going on, and so happy that I didn't have to walk, I didn't notice the creature in the front seat. So I tilt my head a little bit like a confused dog, and I see a pug with like 2 teeth and kind of like a crooked eye staring at me from the front seat. Not even the back seat, the front seat with the seatbelt on. And I'm trying to be as nice as I can, but I just worked a 12-hour shift in hell, so I want to get the fuck home. I just get in the car. I don't even really say anything. And she goes, "This is Frank." And I said, "Okay." Whoa, what the fuck? Now this is when my wife and I had met at Lowe's. We worked at Lowe's. So did you. So did Tom. So did Adam. We all met at Lowe's.
Yep.
So she was working at Lowe's at this time. She doesn't work for Lowe's anymore, but a crazy woman that Adam used to phone prank saw a dog running across Route 30, which has 19 lanes of fucking traffic, and my wife, being the dog warrior, went and rescued Frank the dog. Okay?
All right.
Okay. Now, Frank the dog is riding shotgun in my fucking car as I sit in the back like luggage, and we head up to Edson Street. And all I want to do is go to bed because I have to turn and burn. I have to get up. I get out at 11. I have to go back to work at 11 to work another fucking 12-hour shift.
Do it all over.
So I'm exhausted. And I walk in my apartment with my wife, and I took a quick shower because I was just exhausted. I wanted to take a shower and go to bed. I didn't even smoke a cigarette. I just wanted to go to bed. I didn't want to eat. I just wanted to go to fucking bed. I'm going to take a drink of my soda. Tell me how my story is so far,
It's
Joe.
going real good.
It's going real good?
It is.
Are
It
you-
is.
Are you thrilled?
It is. It's really good.
I am on the edge of my goddamn
Yeah, I think it's
seat.
better than my stories, actually.
Yeah, Joe beating up the stage hand.
Holy stage hand. The guy makes fucking $2 a night.
We're enthralled.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets worse. So I get out of the shower. I put on my ho-ho Santa Claus pajama pants that I love to wear. I actually still have them. They're upstairs. Sorry that you needed it, but I need to set the stage.
Everyone needs to know that.
Everybody needs to know that.
Yep.
So my apartment, standard apartment, bathroom, kitchen, living room, whatever. Our bedroom is off the living room. A big-ass fucking wooden door. Go in there. She had gotten like fucking light deafening or light fucking whatever. The curtains that block out the fucking light. So I go in there and I crawl into a big old bed that I am just gonna fucking drool all over for the next fucking 6 hours. I'm gonna try to sleep till like 5, 6 o'clock. I hear a knock at the door. I hear a little knock. What? What? I'm like half asleep. So I gotta go back to work. Okay. For Frank's gonna stay here. And I'm like, huh? She goes, yeah, you don't really have to watch him. You just gotta I'm just gonna put him on the floor. And I said, okay. Just put him on the floor. She goes, I'm going back to work. I'll see you later. I said, okay, I'll see you later. So this was, like I said, 11 o'clock. She gets out at 4. So she goes back to work about 11:45 or whatever. So now I'm in this room. I got the fan going, and I got the curtains fucking closed. And this was before my iPhone and shit. I had a fucking bullshit phone. I didn't have unlimited. I wasn't watching television. We didn't have a television in the bedroom. I was just trying to sleep. And all of a sudden, Frank starts moving. So Frank walks up to the door and scratches at the door. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm exhausted, but I'm not going to prevent a dog from going to the bathroom. So I bring the dog out. Dog takes a big piss, takes a big poopy. I pick it up. I was living in the city. I had to pick it up. I couldn't just fling it on my neighbor's lawn like I do now. Couldn't just throw it in the fucking road like the Amish.
Yeah.
So I had to be responsible. And now I got Frank. I didn't really know Frank, okay? I just knew it was I like pugs. I think they're cute. Whatever. So I bring Frank back up into the house. I put Frank right back where he was. Frank goes right back to the door, does the same fucking nonsense. I'm like, listen, I just took you out. You just did your business. Whatever. I'm exhausted. So now I put Frank on the bed. And I put him down by my feet. And I go to sleep. So about 25 minutes later, half an hour later, I wake up to these weird fucking noises right in my face.
Sounds like a dog to me.
I open my eyes, and
Yeah.
Frank is about a fucking millimeter. You probably couldn't slide a piece of paper between us.
Yeah.
And he's poking me with his one fucking tooth. He's like goring me like a fucking rhino, and he's just pressing his face against me, and he's just going. So now I'm like violently enraged inside my head. But what can I do? It's an old dog. What is it gonna do? It can't do anything. It's got a crooked eye and a tusk. So what am I gonna do?
You're upset anyway.
I'm upset anyway. It ain't the dog's fucking fault. So I take the dog out again. Dog, and everybody that is a dog owner knows this. This dog squatted 3 or 4 more times, and not a fucking drip of piss, not even the essence of piss did not come out. But because there's another dog around, Frank wanted to go out and make his presence known. So now I've had it enough. I've had it. It's 1 o'clock. I'm going to fucking bed. I put Frank on the bed. I probably pointed at him and said something rude to him. I get into bed. Whatever. Boom. 3:30. I'm fucking like jarred awake. Like, what the fuck's going on? I'm looking around. I lean up. I don't see Frank. Now Frank's fucking gone. I'm like, great. He jumped off the fucking bed. Great. What am now? What am I? I'm in trouble. So I get up and I look around. No Frank. I look back. Frank had crawled on the fucking table where the lamp was, and he was trying to fucking scratch the window frame. I don't know if he was trying to commit dog suicide. I don't know what the fuck he was trying to do. But whatever. So I grab Frank again. I put him back by my feet, and I'm praying for my fucking wife to get home. But she got out at 4. She had to go to shopping or some bullshit, some wife stuff. So 4:30 is probably what I'm looking at. So I'm like, okay, I got a couple minutes. I'm going to try to snooze a little bit more before she gets home, and I get to learn the mystery of Frank. The mystery will be solved.
Just,
So it's about 4:10, and I wake up because I feel something. It's Frank, but it's Frank's pee.
I got a quick
no.
question.
Go ahead.
Question for you,
Sure.
because this is one thing that I would have did, but I don't know if there was a reason why you didn't do it.
Okay.
Did you have a door on your bedroom?
I did.
Because I would have locked them into a different room. I would have put them in a different room, so that way it didn't
Yeah,
after it started gnawing, the dog was gnawing on me with his teeth. I would have locked the
but
dog into a different room.
Okay. 2 things. He wasn't trying to gore me with he wasn't trying to bite me. He was trying to love on me, but his teeth were so fucked up, they're pointing out at crooked angles. So if he'd go up and like try to lick your face, he could scratch you with his misshapen teeth. And the reason why I didn't put him in another room, Joe, is because he made the noise. He made he made those fucking noises. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't even notice dog at the time.
Yeah,
It was brand new.
It gets better.
I would have went insane.
Oh, it gets
I would've
better.
went insane.
So I'm pretty much going insane, but now I'm being flooded out of my bed. So Frank took a piss all over the bottom half of my fucking bed. Okay,
Yeah.
giant piss. So
It was a tsunami.
I got a couple of choices.
Penami.
Tsunami.
He didn't pee on me. He peed on my wife's side of the bed, not my side of the bed. So I knew I had to make a call. Excuse me. It was either get up and just completely rip apart the bed and get Frank out of there, and I'd have to make the bed all over again and then try to get Frank back into bed, go to sleep for what would have been ultimately maybe a half an hour.
Oh no! Don't tell me what you're gonna say.
So I make the executive scumbag call to go get a bunch of towels and blot it up as best as I can and spray some fucking
Lysol or something.
Lysol on it and clean it up as best as I can and put towels there and then put Frank on top of the towels. So let me tell you how well that fucking plan worked. It was not worth the 20 extra minutes of sleep I got. So I hear wife noises eventually.
Yes.
I'm jarred awake by wife noises, keys, fucking glitter and fucking lipstick, whatever.
Yeah.
Wife stuff, girl stuff. Oh, hey, I know Frank. And I'm like, Frank, what? Frank the dog. So, Frank the dog is blind in one eye. I'll give you a hint which one it is. It's the one that's pointed halfway out of his fucking head. Frank's extremely diabetic, and when he doesn't have his insulin, he walks around, bangs in the walls, and goes, makes crazy dog sounds. So Frank, the lady let Frank out to pee on Route 30, like up by Happy Days, and Frank fucking escaped and ended up over by Lowe's, which is a couple miles away, and somehow ended up on my fucking bed and peed on me.
Not on you.
Not on
near
me.
you.
Like perpendicular to me. That I didn't change the sheet. I blotted up, but I told my wife about it when I went to work, so she changed the sheets. But I was gone. I skedaddled.
You should have just said, "Oh, by the way, Frank the dog peed on a."
Well, that's what I did.
Yeah.
But I was already halfway out the door.
Bye.
And Frank, I doubt Frank is alive anymore because Frank was pretty fucking old. But Frank got returned home safely to that
was my
poor
question.
woman.
What
And
became of Frank?
that's the saga of Frank. My one and only experience with Frank the dog.
Do you remember work that night?
Do I remember work that night?
Yeah.
I remember you were there, and I remember that you were supposed to be breaking and bundling, but you had to do die stuff for stupid Mike, the supervisor.
Yeah.
That's all I remember.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Because I'm just saying you remember that. I don't know because I remember going on. You were on probably sleep deprivation.
I wanted to
Yeah.
I wanted to murder everyone and everything, and I hated rainbows and sparkles and fucking sunshine. Everyone needed to just
Everyone should just die.
everyone should just die, and when they're done doing that, they can fucking die again, because that's what it felt like when I was on night shift. But that is my story of my horrible night shift experience with Frank the dog. Did you enjoy it, Joe?
I did.
I thought about it because we're gonna get into we'll do another and we'll get into politics and shit. But I just wanted to share that
Yeah.
story with you guys. I wanted
And
to,
it's it really goes to show you how when it comes to dogs that have problems like that it really takes a special person. to care
oh yeah,
for the dog.
yes it does.
Because
Yes, it does.
like me, for example, I mean,
You, for example.
Yeah. Now, if there was a dog, I would not take on that commitment because I know that I wouldn't, number one, want to pay for all the insulin.
Ah, there it is.
And
right
number
off the
two-
bat, right off the
and
bat.
number two-
you cheap fuck, right off the bat.
But you know what I mean? And
you don't have to put it through college, Joe.
yeah,
It's
but
just a
still, I
dog.
mean, that's
Maybe
a lot
about
of
spending
money
about
you
the
got
same.
to
It's
lay
not
out.
Frank the dog.
And it's if
Frank the dog Frank the dog was halfway had 1 foot in the grave and another foot in an adjacent grave. Frank the dog was not.
Dancing above it.
He was. Frank the dog had a lot of fucking. That lady, bless her heart, because Frank the dog was not.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is,
specimen of health.
there's a very small percentage of the population that would deal with that.
Yeah, and I happen to live with one of them.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I actually
But
think
I mean,
do
at
too.
least when it comes to the shelters, though, it's like the shelter will help pay,
Yes.
which is
the
good.
shelter does help.
Because I couldn't imagine you guys doing it. Because
we do. My vet bills are thousands of dollars.
It's
substitute for kids.
Yeah, but
yeah.
you can have more of them and they're
Yeah.
louder.
Yeah,
And when
There
you
we go.
berate them, you don't get in any trouble.
this is true.
Yeah, because you don't berate your kid in front of me. That's embarrassing. But especially not you.
No.
Yeah, I forgot about you.
Yeah.
Social justice warrior over there.
Yeah, hardly.
Yup. Yup. Out of my way. I hear a kid in danger.
We just put on my cape.
But yeah, I was to say delirious or sleep deprived would be an understatement at that point. Because you got to imagine, this is a Thursday night. I've already been through fucking 4 days of this bullshit, working 12s, turn and burn. There were other guys, I only had to do it a couple times, but there were guys that had to work like 7 to 7 and then have to come back at 3 in the morning.
Don't forget Saturdays.
Oh, Saturdays.
Yeah, we had to do Saturdays sometimes. We did many 72-hour work weeks. I think many. Too many.
And they didn't care.
They
didn't care. Yeah.
It wasn't so much in the beginning. The beginning, I think, was better managed when we started. That's why we were there, because at first it wasn't so horrible. That
No,
was
it
my
was
experience.
just
It was a job.
Yeah, it was a job. It was like they didn't throw salt. They cut you,
Yeah.
but they didn't throw salt into
Right,
the wound. Like when them other asshole, like Twitchy Face,
Yeah.
when Twitchy Face got there, when Rat Boy got there, they started fucking doing that
He
shit.
looked like a weasel.
He did look like a weasel.
was
What
4
a
feet tall.
weaselly fuck.
And he was the one we used to say, like I used to say to people when they're on their radios, their hams, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I used to say, like, I hear him. I'd be up there because I was the shop steward. He listens to the shit. He
Yeah, you
listens
know
to
that big asshole we work for.
They didn't even care. They'd suspend where they were. They had no self-awareness, these people. They had no self-awareness. They just start trashing them. And he's upstairs, and he probably had, hey, Scott, come in, listen to this shit.
Hey, how you doing, boss? I'm good, boys. Oh man, that boss, what an asshole! Fuck that guy.
Fuck him.
I hate him and his stupid kids.
I don't know. This guy had a fucking tick in his face or something. I can't even describe it. It was a weasel face.
No, he had a weasel face.
He had
That's
a
pretty much the
weasel
way to
face,
describe it. Weasel face. And stupid. The guy at night, stupid guy. He was so nice though.
man. They
He was
hired
so
one guy
nice.
who was pretty good. I can't remember his name. This guy had like one arm though. He was like a redneck. He was only there a little bit. I don't know. He had some fucked up arm.
He had a fucked up arm?
Yeah.
Did he work on the corrugator?
His arm, he probably worked at a box plant before he lost his arm at a box plant. So that's our safety guy, probably, you know. But
If he worked on the corrugator, I know who you're talking about. That guy was a douchebag.
no. He was there a very short time. Remember, they just went through. They hired a couple of managers for. They were doing a turnover. I think it was right in between Scott and God, what was it? Coffee? What was his name?
Yeah.
Tim Coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like during that time, the coffee days, I would say.
Which are all great people, and we are not defaming them at all.
They were
We're not using any names. Stop
Yes,
using names,
yeah.
please. You can talk, just stop using names.
what would I call him?
Just fucking
Bald guy
just don't
A.
use their fucking
Bald
names.
guy A. Bald
Just
guy
figure it
A.
out. Don't use their names.
Bald guy A.
Douchebag.
But we had a guy in the middle.
Douchebag and rat face.
Wait, so there was T the douchebag and T the weasel.
Yeah, douchebag, weasel, and shithead. Yeah, what do you want?
Fuck. Oh, they're gonna come back and. But in between, there was a guy. I don't even remember my points of fucking. Oh man. But he seemed like he seemed like a halfway decent guy. He was a shit.
Doing like an hour and a half.
Well, we're going because we haven't stopped yet.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it.
I know.
Now we're
Listen,
ripping.
we were gonna just talk about Frank the dog, but you had to go fight with a
we gotta
stagehand
talk about
during
other
damn
stuff.
Yankees.
We got to talk about other stuff.
Yeah, but you
too.
need to understand that is I'm telling a story about a dog that just showed up at my house. You're telling a story, unbeknownst to any of us, that you got into an altercation during a rehearsal of damn fucking Yankees at wherever for whoever in lieu of wherever. I don't know. I've never heard these stories. This is insane. And this is a revelation that needed to be told. So we had the sidebar.
Now it's out there for the world.
Yeah, and our attention span, including yours, is slim to fucking none. Since if any of us get sidetracked, we can't remember what we were talking about.
That's
This
a good
stuff is
point.
going to float in cyberspace
Yes.
for eternity.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, I mean, there's that's true.
We'll be dead 200 years. It'll still be out there.
They'll put it in a time capsule with Frank the dog's ashes with his little fucking weird eye looking at me.
That's a good idea.
It is a good idea.
Well, we can't end the show because our producer.
Yeah,
we
well,
can, but I'm waiting
let's
to be nice.
let's talk about.
We're not talking about politics.
Nope.
I know.
No.
I'm not talking.
No,
about
it's got to talk. It's got to be about Frank the dog.
It's Frank the dog.
Frank the dog. We're talking about Frank the
Before-
dog or your fight at fucking damn Yankees. That's it.
When I came back here, my wife had 2 cats, and I would lay my clothes out when I was first looking for a job. I laid my clothes out. I remember
Okay.
to get dressed in the morning and go. My nice clothes, because I have a few nice clothes, and I remember going to get my clothes for a job interview, and there was a puddle on the clothes of cat piss. So I wound up going on this interview dressed like a bum. Hey, I got the job.
Hey, that's all that counts. So when I was a kid, my dad used to breed dogs, but he only bred dogs for a short period of time, like I want to say 2 or 3 years. And the reason, to make things short, the reason that he stopped breeding dogs was because he had a partner that was helping him with everything, and his partner skipped out on him and basically left him to the operation, and he was working full time, and he just couldn't do it. So he ended up giving the dogs away to some shelter or something. But he had Rottweilers, he had Cocker Spaniels, he had Dalmatians, he had a couple of different breeds of dogs. And my ex-babysitter down in Long Island used to breed Rottweilers, and one of the dogs he decided to breed was Rottweilers. So we went down to Long Island, and we picked up these dogs. We picked up 2 of them, the 2 females first and then the male. But for the sake of this story, I'm going to talk about the 2 female dogs, Shaniqua and Cecilia. We named them.
Excuse me?
No names. No names.
The dog's names were Shaniqua and Cecilia. I'm not gonna
No.
Okay.
You. I'm not going to be held liable because you're too stupid not to
Oh,
name
give me a
fucking
break
names.
with that
You
shit.
said that
I just
purposely
said
to
it.
be passive aggressive. No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
I know you
I
did.
did.
I
So
know
what?
you did.
I did
Stop
to be
being
funny.
passive aggressive.
Oh, stop.
I don't want you to use names because of a fucking
It's
lawsuit.
funny. Nobody's
It's his
doing
stupid dogs. Yeah, it's funny to your ass. Not funny to mine. This fucking shit is trademarked to me. Don't get mad at me because I told you not to use
Oh,
names.
God.
Now you got
Well,
fucking
yeah, go
sidetracked.
on.
You
Go
got
on.
sidetracked.
Go on.
I can't think about what I'm saying unless I use their names and get completely liable. No.
I did not say that.
You said everything but that in your
I
statement
didn't
just now.
say
You
that.
did.
I did not say
Don't use names. Don't use names.
Don't
Don't use names. That's the way you fucking sounded.
I was using comedy.
Do I have comedy?
Yes.
Comedy. Oh.
Yeah. Don't use
Oh.
names. The name of the dogs.
Okay,
Dogs-
Joe. Get back
So-
to your names.
So these dogs,
Shaniqua.
Shaniqua and Cecilia.
No, use their last names.
No. Well,
Passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Hey,
Pat
So
in
what-
full effect.
Douchebag, jerk off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this dog, the one that was named Shaniqua, was actually named after a kid I went to school with,
What?
a girl that I was in school with.
Oh.
So I named the dog after her.
Well, that's
So
degrading.
that's yeah,
So-
something.
either way, they're in the cage. They're pissing and shitting all over while the car's in motion. Like they're very car sick for 3 hours. The drive was 3 hours.
Okay.
It
Out
might
to
have
the
been
island?
3.5 because she was on Western Long Island, Nassau County, and we had to go up towards. I would say we were by where between
What the fuck? Get
between.
back to your story.
Yeah, but either way, we were
By Jones Beach.
we got past.
You can't stop, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we got-
passive aggressive Tom in full effect.
That's
Can't
Nassau
stop.
County.
Can't stop.
All right, Joe,
we
go
got
on.
past Albany, and then I remember because we were passing the Albany exit.
Sure.
And the dog, Shaniqua, threw up, and there was vomit all over the inside of the car. We had to stop the car and clean it up. But after we got them home, I want to say we had those dogs for maybe 2 or 3 days.
Oh, okay.
And for whatever reason, Shaniqua had a seizure and was shaken, and my dad had to go across the street because he knew someone who had Rottweilers, and they told him to give the dog syrup, maple syrup, that would help out with the seizure.
Okay.
And he put a little bit of maple syrup in like a cup and
Yeah.
and let the dog have some of the maple syrup, and then the seizure stopped, and he brought the dog to the vet. And when he brought the dog to the vet, they said to him that was exactly what we would have recommended if the dog had a seizure. And they did some tests, and they didn't find her to just for whatever reason she had a random seizure, and she ended up afterwards being just fine. They had a bunch of litters of dogs as the dog got older. After like a year old, there were like 3 litters of Rottweilers, and then he also had the Dalmatians and I didn't know that when the Dalmatians are born, they don't have any spots on them.
Correct.
So I asked about, because I remember, and they ended up by the time they sell the dogs get the spots pretty much after that.
How come in the movie they had spots? I know it's a movie, but how they have spots in the movie?
I don't think they
Not
did
as
when they were born.
puppies. Not as puppies.
I don't think they did.
I don't give a shit. That's a fucked up number of Dalmatians.
Yeah, 101.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a fucked up number.
No, that's comedy. Let me tell you, you know comedy, and that was comedy.
But
That's a great.
Well, think about it.
That is an odd story to end on, Joe. The
call
vomit
them-
Shaniqua dog, the seizure vomit dog,
Cecilia?
Cecilia and
Shaniqua
Shaniqua.
and Cecilia.
Well, it's Cecilia.
And then my
Shaniqua was
dad
a girl that you
named the
liked.
male dog against Steamer, which was for the steam engine for the trains.
Yeah?
because he was into trains. He
Trains from Cleveland?
Yeah, he named the dog Steamer.
What would you call a train from
Oh,
Cleveland?
well, I don't know what you would call a train from Cleveland. But
What do you think your dad would call a train from Cleveland?
That'd be a Cleveland steamer.
It'd be a
Yeah.
Cleveland steamer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, but exactly, but
Steamer went to shows with my dad. Brought that, and that's a whole nother thing. My dad brought
What
Go
the
to Cleveland.
My dad brought Steamer, the dog,
Yeah.
And he told me this story after, so I wasn't actually physically there to witness. I was probably in school or something. I wasn't that old, maybe 11, 12. But he brought the dog to a dog show, and Steamer, because he wanted to show the dog, because the dog was a beautiful dog and had papers, and he wanted to show the dog. The dog runs out of the cage and sees the lights or whatever and runs back and basically would not leave my dad's side. He would not go, and he drove like 3 hours to this dog show, and the dog would not be shown. He was scared of his own shadow.
All the way to Cleveland.
All the way to Cleveland. Wow.
Probably, yeah.
All the way to
All right.
all the way to Cleveland for Steamers.
Yeah, this was a
Okay.
good show. We did good here. We got all the viewers and everything.
All
Hey,
the viewers.
Hey, by the way, like,
viewer.
comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Where?
On Rumble and YouTube
And what else?
Spotify.
and Spotify.
And what else should they do?
Follow us.
Leave a comment.
Leave a comment.
Yeah, leave a comment.
And should
Questions.
they email us? Should they
Yeah,
email
they
us?
could email us.
And what should they say?
They're just anything you want to say. If you want to ask us questions
Degrade
about
us.
how
love
we got
questions.
started, if you want to
Yell.
leave
Do you
any
know how to-
comments,
do you know how to access our email?
yes,
And you can do it?
yes.
Could you do it on your phone?
No,
No.
I don't
Okay.
have that set up yet.
Okay.
We should check our email.
And you just said, what, I think we just set the password.
What's our email?
It is unqualified uprising, or one word, at yahoo.com.
And they can say whatever.
Yes.
They could call us assholes.
If they want to, yeah.
Okay.
so
Free
we should
speech.
dedicate the next show to our email.
Yeah. Oh my God. That would be great.
Yeah, we got a lot of emails. We'll put some of them on the show. I mean, that's what podcasters do.
And our
Any-
quote,
any
you guys
interesting
are
emails?
awful.
Yes.
Where's the video?
Yes. Where's the video?
We want to see these guys. We want to put faces on these voices. No, you
Cancel,
don't.
cancel, cancel.
Cancel. Well, Joe, thank you for your riveting story
You're
about
welcome.
Shaniqua and Cecilia.
Yeah.
Tom, thank you as always for joining us.
PA. What is it? PAT.
PAT, passive aggressive Tom. Adam, thank you for abandoning us and making me listen to Joe's seizure story. I appreciate it.
Goodbye and good night.
Yeah, goodbye and good night. Oh, man. Another episode of Unqualified Uprising in the books. I am your host, Mike. Bye for now.